Hey, this is Lunar and welcome to Lunar Arcade. Today we are doing the unboxing of the Nintendo Switch 2. It has been a long time coming, and I mean that. I've been waiting for years for this. Be sure to stick through the end for the transfer guide. If you're new here, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon so you can be notified when the next episode comes out. So this is the box of the Switch 2, and I really just want to start playing, but I want to show you guys the unboxing. So this is the unit itself. I also have my original unit next to me so we can do a comparison. We also have some controller grips for the Joy-Con itself. And I was lucky enough because I wasn't able to pre-order this, but I was able to get the charge grip. And there is a difference between the charge grip and the regular one that comes with the Switch 2, because the one that comes with the Switch 2 doesn't have the extra buttons. I don't really care about the charging portion. I just want it to have the extra buttons on the back. That's just something I care about, extra functionality. And then we have the Pro controller, which I'm really excited to test out, especially the D-pad. And I'm going to do a comparison with the original controller, just to see if the D-pad is any better. And I was fortunate enough, I didn't even know this was a thing. I picked up my unit at Best Buy midnight launch, and they have a token. So they give you a token, and it's pretty neat. It's metal, and it has the Best Buy name brand on the back, and it says 2025, so that is pretty cool. I actually heard them talking about two people that they forgot to give theirs to, so that sucks. But here's the unit itself. And wow, that screen is pristine. And sure enough, the stand on the back, and that really does feel sturdy. That doesn't feel cheap at all. It feels like metal, so it doesn't actually feel like plastic, or I guess it's kind of plasticky because it has some, but it just feels very strong. So there's that. And then we have the Joy-Cons here. Been waiting so long to get a hold of these, and have them in opposite hands. That feels better. That feels a lot better. Just the size, I'm sure you guys have heard that a lot. The size feels a lot better. The joysticks, oh my God. The joysticks feel so much better. Some people said just a little better. I'm like, no, these feel a lot better. Not just the rubber, but the, I don't know if they added more like give to the axes or something, but it feels like you have more room, like more of a actual full controller. Another thing I noticed is that the edges are rounded compared to the original that are more squared off. Yeah, it's just a size comparison here. So you can see the size difference. You can also see how it's actually rounded off on the edge. So that's interesting. And there's definitely more in the box. But, oh, moment of truth, the magnet. Wow, that was really satisfying. And I can't, I feel like I could, like, if I'm like really just guttal rip it, yeah, it'll actually come off. But like, I feel confident enough to do this. Yeah, the magnets, they just snap right in. This feels way more comfortable to hold. Way more comfortable to hold. The buttons. The buttons, let me see, I'm gonna compare that to the original. I like these buttons better. I definitely like these buttons better. And then to take it off, that's really satisfying. I'm gonna have my girlfriend try this out later. This is really satisfying because it's like it pushes it, and there's like a click almost that you feel, and then it just comes right off. Otherwise, it's just magnetic compared to the rails that you have on these. And actually, one of the rails on this is not really good, or it's worn out because I can actually just pull it off, which really sucks. But yeah, that's way better. God, I just want to stop filming and start playing. But anyway, what else we got in the box here? A bunch of something else. All right, we got the HDMI cable. Oh, the little attachments for the Joy-Cons when you're using mouse mode. Got those. Actually, I want to take one out. That's pretty neat. And they have these little portions so that when you have it on a surface, it doesn't scratch. So that's nice. Put that over to the side. We have a blue one. And this is what I was talking about, guys. So the controller attachment to make the Joy-Cons an actual full controller actually don't have the extra back buttons, but this one does. So that's why I got the, sucks that you have to pay extra for that. Just want to see how it feels as a full controller. Definitely feels better, especially if you have bigger hands, because it was a lot tighter and smaller in the original one. So this is nice if you playing with a friend, it won't feel as unfair with certain games. I mean, I never had a problem with the originals, but at the same time, it was kind of crampy on the hands, especially if you have bigger hands. But this feels a lot better. Take these off. What else do we got in here? We have, oh wow, that is a much heavier brick for the charger, USB-C. It's weighty. It's got a weight to it. Put that off to the side. And then we've got the charger cable that goes to the brick. And then the new dock. And I was wondering how the fan would work, because every time they showed the fan, they always showed the inner fan, like the inside of it, working here. But now it makes more sense, because if you actually look on the inside, you can see the vents on the inside. So that's where it's giving it the cooling. So you have the fan at the bottom there, and it's cooling through the vents. But we got way more stuff, right? We also have the Pro controller. Let's see, trying to compare to see how this works. Comparison. All right, it's got the charger cable. That's nice. For some reason in my head, I didn't think it was going to come with one. And let's see, moment of truth. I like the material. That's the first thing I noticed. The material it's made out of is like a, not matte, but it's a very smooth, comfortable feel. The one thing I kind of miss compared to the original is the grippy part, because this doesn't feel like complete plastic. It feels like it's kind of a grip. So a part of me misses that a little bit. But let's see. Oh man, I've been hearing that the analog sticks are really smooth. Dude, these are really smooth. They just glide. All right, and the D-pad. Okay, it doesn't feel super tactile, but I like how it feels compared to the originals. I'm gonna have to test that out in gameplay though. We'll see how accurate, how good it is there. But the buttons feel nice. But the analog stick, you can actually put it closer to the mic. Like when you're just sliding, when you're moving the analog stick, it's just smooth. It feels like it doesn't even scrape against the rim. Whereas these, a lot louder. But it's still got that same feel. And also, you have the extra buttons on the back. And these buttons feel perfect because they don't feel like they're in the way or you're going to accidentally press them. But if I need to press them, they're right there. So that's nice. Can't wait to try that out. Put that back in the box. All right, now I'm going to show you the difference with the charge grip as to why. Oh, and this one comes with a cable also. That's excellent. Never have too many cables. But yeah, see, they have the little extra buttons on the back, whereas the other ones do not. But it's basically the same thing. It doesn't have the colors. It looks like they're going for like more of a gray look for the inside. And you have the see-through. Although I do like the black. I like the solid black, but they don't have the buttons, which kind of blows. But yeah, I wanted it, so I got that. And then I also got these. It's always good to have some of these. Makes a difference when you have like a lot more people over and you don't want to spend extra money on full controllers. But I got these Joy-Con grips for the Joy-Cons to make them more comfortable when you're playing with friends. And it's got the carbon fiber extra buttons. It's got the hole so you can actually push the controller out when you're done using it. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Just slide it in like so. Oh yeah, now you have like a mini full controller. So that's pretty nice. And these paddles are actually very comfortable to like rest your fingers on. I didn't even open this to try it out earlier, but this is nice. It's got like a nice texture to it. And just if you want the same brand that I got, it's the LMCPA. That's the brand that I got. It's about 16 bucks. All right. I did get the physical version of Mario Kart World. No, I didn't want to pay the 80 bucks for it, but the full game is on here, so it retains its value that way. Did get a included bundle of Mario Kart World pre-order, but I'm giving that to my friend, Sonny. He's been on some episodes with me. And then we also have the camera. So let's see what that's like. Oh, I like the size. It's a lot more compact than I thought. So it's a wee little eye that's just gonna be looking at you. I was worried about this taking up more space. I guess cameras blow everything up and make everything look bigger than it actually is. Heyo. And yeah, there's the camera there. It's got a little holder here for the cable. Oh, it's got a little slider so you can open the shutter. So that's pretty neat. Comes with its own cable. But we have more goodies. Just for anyone who still doesn't know, because people miss stuff all the time, you have to get a micro SD express card. You cannot use the original SD card. You can still use it, but only to transfer videos and photos. You can't actually use it for any games. You need these. Why? These cards are faster, much faster than the regular micro SD cards. So there's that. One more thing I wanted to show you guys, D-pad attachment. I'm going to attach this to the D-pad so you guys can see. You don't have to do any taking apart of your Switch. You can just mod it by putting this button cap on top, and it gives it a full D-pad, and it actually has a black little pivot so that you can actually pivot when you're using it. And I trust this brand because I've gotten it before. I've actually gotten it for the original Switch, and it works great. Until I eventually modded my Switch, I actually took the Joy-Cons apart and got an actual D-pad. I'm just a stickler for that. I would really like to have a D-pad. But these buttons feel great. I actually like how these feel. So we'll see how it works with the D-pad attachment. So when you're ready to do the system transfer to the Switch 2, make sure both consoles are fully updated first. I had to update my OLED Switch before even starting, and the Switch 2 prompts you for an update right at boot. Once both systems are connected to the internet, head to the system settings on your original Switch, scroll all the way down and you'll find the transfer to Nintendo Switch 2 option. This is for the side-by-side wireless transfer method. Now before you commit, heads up, the Switch 2 will become your primary console once it starts. It won't erase your old device, but here's a catch. To access your digital purchases on the old Switch afterward, you'll need to use those weird virtual game cards.
Why?
You suck!
But good news, your physical games work perfectly. I tested that myself. Also make sure both games are plugged into power. The transfer process won't even let you continue otherwise. I actually had to move everything to the floor to get both chargers close enough. Not gonna lie, sitting on the floor doing a console transfer brought back some real childhood nostalgia. Oh, Nintendo, you sneaky little nostalgia wizard. Once you start the transfer, just follow the on-screen prompts. Mine took about 20 minutes, and then boom, I was up and running on the Switch 2. Bonus, the Nintendo Switch Eshop is blazing fast now. And get this, you can even use mouse mode with your Joy-Cons to shop around. It's pretty nifty. And yes, the mouse mode works on the home screen too. That's a small feature, but it makes everything feel way more modern. Also good news, Animal Crossing and Pokemon fans, my saves made it safely through the transfer. So it works. There's a very important setting you should turn on if you're using a Switch 2. Head into the settings and make sure stop charging at 90% is enabled. Now why does that matter? Smart devices like your iPhone or Android have similar features, and stopping the charge at 90% or 80% helps extend your battery's lifespan long term. Sure, you lose a little bit of playtime for a charge, but over time your battery will hold its charge longer and degrade much more slowly. Trust me, my Switch OLED started dying way too fast, and yeah, I ended up having to replace the battery myself after the warranty expired. And if you notice your battery not lasting as long lately, this might be why. Turn it on, save your battery, thank yourself later. Or thank me. I'm seriously loving the Switch 2 so far. The performance gains, the responsiveness, it's everything I hope for from a next-gen Nintendo handheld. I'm still testing out a bunch of games, so if there's something specific you want me to check out, drop a comment below. If I've got it, I'll test it and let you know how it runs. Now I want to highlight something that John from Digital Foundry said that's really stood out to me. It's about how backwards compatibility works on the Switch 2, which I've brought up in one of my video shorts earlier, so feel free to check that out. But John says, but the Switch 2 is clearly different. It's not using full hardware backwards compatibility as such. It's effectively using a translation layer to run the original game code on the new system. So in this scenario, it would probably be a lot harder to limit games to original performance levels as opposed to just letting the new system run those titles with whatever system resources the Switch 2 can throw at them. The end result is that remarkably, Batman Arkham Knight is as fixed as it can be on Switch 2 without going back to the game and optimizing it. While Arkham Knight still possesses ugly pared back textures and hideous aliasing problems, it runs as flawlessly as possible to get the original code. Extra CPU and extra GPU power in combination with the faster storage effectively brute force the game to be everything it possibly can be given the design constraints placed on the original code. Is it perfect? Well, in the Batmobile driving, while the frame rate is fixed, animation errors have their way into view, so despite a locked 30 FPS, something still doesn't look right. Extra horsepower for the Switch 1 games though is clearly there, and this sets the scene for a more detailed Digital Foundry investigation into backwards compatibility on the Switch 2. That's such a clear explanation of why we're seeing better performance even without dev patches, and why the Switch 2 is handling legacy titles so well. I'm still testing games, so again, if there's anything you guys want me to look at, drop a comment below and I'll test it out if I have it. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you're most excited to revisit or test on the Switch 2. Hit that bell icon so you could be notified about future episodes. Thanks for watching, and this is Lunar, signing off.